With gardening, sometimes you really have to want it. Not every plant is going to produce, and not every crop is going to go our way. Pushing through not only your mistakes, but also the forces that are outside of your control is what's going to lead to gardening greatness. Even after 30 plus years of growing, every season I'll still have one crop that fails or at least underperforms. Guaranteed. Sometimes it's my mistake, other times it's forces completely out of my control. So today, I got 5 things we can do to lessen the blow of gardening fatigue and stay motivated to keep growing. We're at the midway point of the season, and we got this, guys. Early on, it feels like more plants underperform than actually give us a harvest. This is natural because we're still learning and still finding our feet. But it does bring us to our first key, and that's to learn from all of our mistakes. It's often said that we learn far more from our missteps than we do from our successes, and in the case of gardening, this is especially true. We need to pay special attention to specific points in a crop's life cycle and specific moments in time for their failure. Planted too early, too late, too deep, in the wrong soil, in the wrong location, too much water, not enough nutrients, and all of those other things that govern a plant's success. Each mistake we make for the parameters of successful plant growth is an opportunity to learn. Change the mindset from failure to fundamental learning, and the prospects look far less bleak. On the flip side of that, though, we should revel in our successes and be overjoyed with each new harvest. Take a step back and realize just how amazing it is to take a tiny seed or plant, grow it up over the course of its life cycle to a beautiful, bountiful end. Also realize that if you can do this for one crop, eventually you can do this for all the crops. Growing to a successful harvest is a lot like following a recipe. Just because you don't know the recipe for that one crop, or it didn't work out that one time you tried, doesn't mean it's always going to be that way. Observe, learn, expand, level up, and move forward. And that brings us to our third motivator, which is to branch out and try something new. Brussels sprouts not working? Give cauliflower a try. Beefsteak tomatoes not growing like you hoped? Try bush cherry tomatoes in a container. There's so many varieties and iterations of each crop out there, you could try 10 new crops every year for the rest of your life and still barely scratch the surface. Take what you've learned with the crops you've already tried and expand. It's the best way to keep the gardening excitement level at its highest. Just like trying new things and expanding and moving forward, we also have to realize that nothing is permanent. A failed crop is just that, a failed crop. It's a moment in time that has no bearing on what you can accomplish the next time around, even the next attempt on the same crop grown in the same area. Learning from our mistakes will limit the future failures, yes, but they're still going to happen. Take what you can from the experience and apply it to each new planting. Half the fun is unlocking the puzzle and finally conquering that crop that has eluded you time and time again. If we're not repeating the same mistakes, then by default we're moving forward and getting better at the craft. That in and of itself is positive and most certainly motivating. And our fifth and final key to staying upbeat and motivated in the garden after a tough first half of the year is to know that there's still time. Oodles of time still left to plant our favorite crops. Fall beauties like broccoli and kale are over a month away, and we can still plant those quick crop bad boys like lettuce, spinach, and radishes 1 to 2 more times at least before the cold weather hits. I'm fast tracking a brand new variety of cucumbers here when most of my others are done for the season. Why? Because there's still time. Check the days to harvest, your frost dates, and the planting window. Work backwards from that and see what crops you can still plant. Turn around that discouragement from the first part of the season and head into a new round of planting with a new outlook. Don't repeat the same mistakes and take what you've observed so far to spin the year as a whole into a positive. There's still plenty of time to have standout harvests to build on for next year. That's going to change your mentality on how you feel about gardening. If you haven't already, I do suggest you check out my free class, 5 Keys to a Successful Vegetable Garden. If you're feeling a little bit lost, or you just want some guidance on getting started with your garden, then this free mini course is just for you. It's completely free, self-paced, and even has a fun quiz at the end. If you get the chance and you have the time, do check it out. To recap, there's no doubt that gardening is a tough gig. Even if we're completely mistake-free, forces outside of our control can limit our growing success. But if we can continually learn from our mistakes, that compounds, and that alone will change our fortunes. Observing all the things that go wrong when growing a crop is often more valuable information than when things go completely right. Also, if we're lucky and we're growing many things, we need to keep our perspective in check. Sure, we can get down that our strawberries didn't do so well this year, but perhaps our blueberries more than made up for it. Don't dwell on the bad stuff other than what it teaches us. Trying something new can also reinvigorate your drive to keep going and stay motivated. The excitement of a new crop or variety is often enough to stifle poor results or even just stave off boredom or procrastination. We also have to further realize that no matter how large or severe the failure, nothing is permanent in the garden. There's going to be more chances. Most of our crops are designed to be planted annually, sometimes even multiple times per year. And knowing that, it may seem like it's too late, but truthfully, we're only a month into summer, with plenty of time left to kick some gardening butt. I do hope your gardens are flourishing this year, guys, but if not, hopefully these 5 tips will see you through the tough times. As always, happy growing, and I'll see you soon. Hey, thanks so much for watching, guys. Truly, this channel wouldn't exist without passionate gardeners like you. For even more info-packed videos like this, check out this playlist of garden quickies here. And for those of you that are interested, my online course, Vegetable Gardening Basics, is live and ready for enrollment. As always, happy growing, and I'll see you in the next one.